Pittsburgh Penguins, a very, very good team. There was a trade that happened in Hello, good afternoon. This is Taiwo Najobi, your host on Line Analysis Maple Sports. We'd like to bring you some sharp analysis, and we have some big love for Canadian hoops and ice. We also like to break down the NBA, spotlighting the CBL, and carving out some small space for that smart hockey talk you talk about. This is run by Taiwo, your commentator, analyst, and unapologetic fan of the game. This is 6:46 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I would like to say, today's a good day. Good weather, try something new, sing your heart out and make a difference. I just want to use this opportunity to say thank you so far for people that have reached out, giving some of their feedbacks. And we've been able to take some of those feedbacks, and it has improved the way we look at analysis, sport analysis, generally how we deliver our product. However, we are reaching out to more people to be able to give us more comments. You can share so that at least more people are able to get access to some of the top sport analysis that we bring out. And we promise you that we'll continue to improve, find ways to continue to add value. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to see how much some of those feedbacks are doing well. We want you to go to our comment section, share, reach out to more people, reshare it as much as possible. Help us grow the channel the best way that you can. And, we're going to find a way to kind of compensate and reach out to more people. And, as we grow, we continue to make sure that we are doing this because of you guys. And thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And we do not take it for granted at all. Today's a different day. We've not had the opportunity to talk about hockey for a while. Hockey has gone so far. I remember, some of my last videos, I talked about the fact that we had a break because of the Winter Olympics, and we came back after the Winter Olympics, and a lot has been happening. Off my head, I want to just talk about some of the key things that have happened. Since when we came back from the Winter Olympics, the Toronto Maple Leafs have been a disaster. And presently, right now, they're officially out of the postseason. They can't even qualify. Their best player, Austin Matthews, is injured till the end of the season, and they're probably just struggling. The first came immediately after the Winter Olympics, and they lost 7 straight. And from there, it just continued to go down. The injury to Austin Matthews was just a terrible one, and they've not been able to get themselves together since they went injured. Unfortunately, they are bottom of the table. I think the last time I checked, second to the last in their division. And, that's just the end of a wonderful season for them. The good part is, as presently speaking now, I like to say as presently constructed, the Edmonton Oilers are top of the Pacific Division. They've won their last 4 games. The moment Drysdale went on injury, the team just started performing. All of a sudden, everything just changed. It looks like new life has come to the team. I know they had some few pickups in the trade deadline, but I'm not going to go into that today. But it looks like there's some new life that has come into the team. I thought Conor McDavid was completely banged up. Looking at the fact that he was a bit stressed going for the Winter Olympics, but now that he has come back, he's playing at a very high level. He's still the leading scorer in the league. I think him and McKinnon with the Colorado Avalanche are still top scorers within the league. And the next couple of games will also determine who will win the prize for the top scorer of the league. Conor McDavid has won it twice, so hopefully it should be an easy feat for him to win it one more time. And if they can give him some more playing time, the Edmonton Oilers can put him in a better position to win at least another personal accolade between now and the end of the season. Shout out to the Edmonton Oilers. They presently, as I speak now, they top the Pacific Division because the Ducks lost yesterday. The Ducks team, which is also one of the good teams in California, lost yesterday, but they're also going to be playing. They're also going to be playing the Calgary Flames this week. I'm not sure, but I have to check again. But they lost yesterday, and as a result of that, the Edmonton Oilers has gone ahead as number 1 in the Pacific Ocean, and that's an automatic qualification for the postseason. A couple of teams have qualified, and I'm going to go into that in my playoff qualification landscape. We have less than 2 weeks to the end of the season, and it's so funny. Anytime I try to look at how the season started, when I started doing analysis, even when analysis started, we started doing analysis beginning of the season, and before you know it, activities has climbed on activities. And right now, we are looking at the end of the season in less than 2 weeks. A lot of those players have gone through a lot of top players. They were able to show their skills, especially the fact that we had a lot of those players show out in the Olympics, and the Team USA was eventually able to get the gold. Team Canada got the silver, and it was just a different split entirely. It looked like a big disappointment for Conor McDavid because in the last three top competitions, he has come up short. He got to the finals in 2014, 2015. Oilers playing against the Florida team, Florida Panthers. He got to the final again 2015, 2025, 2026. 2024, 2025. Got to the finals again, couldn't get it done. And they were defeated again in 6 games by the same Florida Panthers as well. A lot of people had forgotten that the Florida Panthers also lost in a final 3 years before that time, where they were defeated by the Vegas team. Every team keeps trying and, you just keep pushing. And by the time you get to the finals, it may just be your turn. And, it is what it is. Now, Conor McDavid also got to the gold game for the Olympics, and he lost a game to the Team USA. So it looks like 3 times he got to the final and he couldn't get it done. But I'm going to be reaching out to you. If you're able to watch this, Conor McDavid, don't give up. A lot of people are rooting for you. A lot of people are supporting you, all the way from Edmonton, all the way to Calgary. We are saying, keep trying your best, keep pushing it, and we'll continue to root for you. Shout out to you. Okay, however, I'll just dive right into the main crops of today, and we're looking at the playoff qualification landscape. I did some deep analysis, a bit different from what you see everywhere across the world, looking at what the Eastern Conference looks like. Right now, we also understand that in hockey, the Eastern Conference doesn't carry as much weight as the NBA. What carries a lot of weight is the division. The first 3 teams, number 1, 2, 3, within the division, automatically qualify, irrespective of where they sit in their conference. The first 3 teams within the division qualify. But then we now have 2 teams that are going to be within the wild card. So the wild card now goes back to the conference. So we now have a Western Conference wild card 1, Western Conference wild card 2. That's how the qualification comes. Then we have that also in the Eastern Conference, wildcard 1, wildcard 2. So we now, after the first 3 teams within the division have qualified, we now go back to the Western Conference and look at the next best team after those 3. Then then the next best 2 teams are now able to qualify automatically. I did this analysis as presently constructed as that today, which is first week of April, 3rd of April, trying to see if the season were to end today, even though the season ends in less than 2 weeks, what are the teams that have been excellent in their performance, the way they approach the season. Some have already qualified right now, so they can really take a break now and just relax till they start the postseason. Looking at the Eastern Conference has the Metropolitan Division, and it's very clear the Carolina Hurricanes have already clinched. They already have automatic qualification into the postseason. They've clinched it. I've always said before, they are an elite 2-way team. They are plus 49 on their differential, and they look like a very good team when they are at home. And that's why they deserve 102 points so far. Any team that 2 weeks to the end of the season have over 100 points shows that this is a good team that will make a lot of teams pay in the postseason. So shout out to them. Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes. Under the Metropolitan Division, they've already clinched it. I'll go straight into the Atlantic Division, but I'll come back to the Metropolitan. I just decided to bring this out and just give them their flowers. Under the Atlantic Division, the teams that have already qualified are 3. It just shows you that these 3 teams are very, very aggressive. The Tampa Bay Lightning, this is another team in Florida doing so well. They have 100 points as of today. The Buffalo Sabres, they really improved. At the middle of the season, nobody was talking about the Buffalo Sabres, but right now, today, they are second in the Atlantic Division. And they just caught fire from the second half of the season. And today they have their 100 points. Shout out to them. We have the Montreal Canadiens that are 98 points. They will definitely cross over the 100 points. It means that they are better than the Edmonton Oilers as of today, because the Edmonton Oilers have not even been able to clutch a 40, their 40th win. They've just won 39 games this season. They've not, they've not won 40 games yet, but they will get over that. And that's why they're still less than 100 points this season. But Montreal Canadiens are comfortably sitting on 98 points, and they are officially looking like they are going to represent Canada in this postseason. However, amongst these 3, none of them have clinched, but 3 of them are the virtual locks based on my analysis landscape. Postseason landscape, these 3 are going to lock it. And this is why I feel they're going to lock it. The 3 teams that I've just talked about right now, they've all had over 98 points, and they're definitely going to have above 100. With the number of 6-7 games left, they're going to have over 100 points. Their rate of winning total is very, very strong. They are winning a lot of games, and their lead over the bubble within is over 10 points, because from the 3rd, which is Montreal Canadiens, the difference between Montreal and the next team is over 10 points. So even if they lose a couple of games, they still have momentum to qualify for the postseason, and I like what I'm seeing from them. And I decided to go ahead and put some kind of probability for their qualification. Tampa Bay have a 99% chance of going into the postseason with the next 6 to 7 games, and also looking at the teams they are going to play. Buffalo has a 99% chance as well. Montreal has 97% chance of going over 100 and automatically qualifying for the postseason. And shout out to them. In their division, they've been very, very outstanding, which is the Atlantic Division. And, hopefully they are going to go into the, postseason and make a lot of noise. Now we're going back to the Metropolitan Division. Just like I said, the Carolina Hurricanes are undoubtedly the top team and they're over 100. The next team after them is 10 points, backward. And that's why the Pittsburgh Penguins, a very, very good team. There was a trade that happened in the middle of the season where they went for Skinner and they sent Jared to Edmonton Oilers. And since then, everybody thought they were going to struggle, but they've been able to bounce back. And they're second presently in their division. They have strong rate of wins. They have excellent road record. They were a team that looked like they have already gone down, especially with the injury that happened to Crosby. When Crosby got injured in the Olympics, I thought the Pittsburgh Penguins would struggle, but they were able to come out of it and show up. They just need 4 more points to mathematically clinch a place in the postseason. And I'm rooting for them. I know they're going to get it. But also, it's so funny because the team after them is the New York Islanders, who are on 89 points. They are on 92, while the New York Islanders are on 89 points. The New York Islanders, for me, they are not safe yet, but they are within that net. They can get it done within the next 6 to 7 games. They are not as safe as the Pittsburgh. And the reason why is because they still need to get some quick wins between now and maybe between now and maybe middle of next week. We can now tell, okay, that they are in a better position. They are +1 in their differential, which is a bit concerning. We expect them to have a higher differential at this time of the season, but they still have a standing cushion. And because they are number 3, it is what it is. The top 3 teams will automatically go on. So looking at the probability of qualifying, I put the Pittsburgh on 95%, while the New York Islanders are on 85%. And I know that they should be able to get it done. But right now, I'm not confident saying that they've clinched the space in the postseason. The Western Conference wildcard number 1 for me is the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins have the charisma. They have what it takes to be able to challenge in the postseason. Essentially, I can say they are safe, but there's still some work to do. They are +22 on differential, which means that they've scored more goals than they've allowed. So they are a strong team in their last 10 games. They've played so well. So they deserve getting that wild card spot for the Western Conference. So they will most likely clinch it if they win 2 more games. We can say confidently that they can clinch it. The Ottawa Senators are the wild card 2. This is the second Canadian team I'm thinking may be able to clinch it as a result of the wild card opportunity. They hold that spot based on their record of wins advantage. They still lost yesterday, which is something I'm worried about. But they are trending upward, and they may be able to be. Right now, I would just say the 3rd Canadian team that will be able to play in the postseason because Winnipeg has messed up, the Vancouver team has messed up, and we may not be able to have so many Canadian teams being able to push us this time around. But I like what I'm seeing from the Ottawa Senators. They have what it takes to be able to challenge and just move forward and put themselves in better positions to succeed. But if you look at the other teams that are fighting for these wildcard spots, it's still a big dog race, especially in this conference. The Detroit Red Wings have 88 points, the same points with Ottawa Senators. So it's very neutral. They can also go in. Even though the Detroit Red Wings still have a negative differential, which still hurts them because they are conceding too many goals. I watched their match against the Colorado Avalanche where Colorado Avalanche scored 6 goals and they were unable to reply, not even one. So they conceded a lot of goals that is going to be a problem for them. The Columbus Blue Jackets have 88 points as well. In that same wildcard dog fight, they are going downward because their last 5 games, they've really not played well. So it looks like they may probably just drop down, but they're on 88 points and they have a chance. The Philadelphia Flyers are 86 points. They are trending upward. In their last 10 games, I like what I'm seeing. So it's keeping them alive. Washington Capitals are on 85 points too. They are trending upward. This is a team that started well in the season, but their momentum dropped a bit. But if you look at the bubble teams, they have what it takes to keep fighting. And that's why I put them in my analysis. And I feel that they have what it takes to keep fighting. 3 other teams I feel that can show up, but they don't have enough right now. The New Jersey Devils are on 80 points. They are fading, but they are too far back. The Florida Panthers are on 77 points. Remember, these are the champions. They've had a very, very poor season. I believe that's coming from the Florida Panthers are a disappointment. You understand? They are a very miserable team this season. They produced a good number of players that did well in the Olympics. But when they came back to the Florida team, They're not even playing well. Small teams are beating them. So they're set 77 based on points now. With the last 6 to 7 games to go, I don't even have any confidence that they can win even half of those 6 to 7 games. So they don't have enough runway. In my own opinion, I put them as out of the postseason. Toronto Maple Leafs, I said them earlier, they are on 77 points, the same number of points with the Florida Panthers. The same issue they have too. They are not consistent. Since they had the injury to Austin Matthews, they've not been playing well. They're also out, and it's the same issue with the Florida Panthers. After the Olympics, they just couldn't get a break. They could not even buy a win after the Olympics, so they're out. So for me, the most likely team that will claim the wild card too will most likely be either Ottawa, Washington, Detroit, or Philadelphia. Those are teams that are playing well and they have what it takes to be able to fight and get the wild card spot. If you look at the Western Conference, the playoff qualification landscape is a bit different because the Central Division already has 3 teams that have clinched it already. Colorado Avalanche on top of the table, they've been outstanding this season, and it's good to give flowers to them. They have 108 points. Dallas Stars, they also improved in the middle of the season. They just caught fire, 102 points. Minnesota Wild, 96 points. All these 3 teams have already qualified. And they're all locked, in joining for the season. So it's already first seed, second seed, and third seed. So right now in the Central Division, it's a bit different because we're now looking at which team will now join them. You understand? So that's the difference between the two divisions. So right now, moving into the Pacific Division. Pacific Division is a bit different because the best position team will definitely clinch the next one. The Anaheim Ducks are on 87 points, but they are second now. You understand? That right now, as at the time I'm doing this podcast, the Edmonton Oilers have gone ahead of the Anaheim Ducks to become number 1 because the Anaheim Ducks lost yesterday. So if the Edmonton Oilers can clinch 2 to 3 more wins, they will automatically become either first or second seed. But now the race now between Edmonton Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks is who becomes number 1 in the Pacific so that you can claim home advantage. Because in the postseason, if you have home advantage, it means if the game gets to a game 7, you are going to get to play that game at home. So it's home advantage they're looking at now. How are they going to get home advantage if they become number 1? And if you are number 1 seed, you are definitely going to play a weaker seed in the different division. So those are some of the things that determines, okay, who is number 1, who is number 2. So Edmonton Oilers, in my own opinion, they will still fight to be number 1 in Pacific Division. Right now, they are number 1 because Anaheim Ducks lost yesterday. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights have also dropped, and that's because the Edmonton Oilers have won their last 5. So it means that they are on a plus 12 differential and they're doing well. So rate of winnings, since when Drysdale went on injury, Leon Drysdale, the Edmonton Oilers team have been performing well. Enrique came back and they are playing at a very high level. And I like what I'm seeing. Even their defense has improved. It was difficult for you to see an Edmonton Oilers go into a game where they win 3-0. That was happening after Leon Drysdale was injured. So it means that as much as Leon Drysdale is a top player within the Edmonton Oilers hierarchy, but it looks like the team is trending towards the right direction. I'm not throwing any shades at Leon Drysdale, but the team is playing better without him. So they should keep up this good performance, and at the end of the day, they're able to do so well in the postseason. The Vegas Golden Knights have 84 points. They are solid, but they are not safe. Yesterday, I still watched their match. It looks like they have some of their key guys that did not play. So for me, they are still +3 in their differential. The Edmonton Oilers need to watch out for them. They are presently number 3 on the ranking of the Pacific Division. But remember, they were number 1. They were number 2 for a while. There was a time they were number 1. Then later, the Anaheim Ducks took over. There's a high probability that the Edmonton Oilers have to keep watching out for them, and try to make sure that, they stay at a very safe distance and create some kind of separation. So the probability is very clear. The Anaheim Ducks have a 95% chance of retaining being in the postseason, at least one of the top 2 seats. Edmonton Oilers have 93% chance. They've won their last 4. So it looks like they're getting some reading back. So they have a 93%, while the Vegas have 80%, because the Edmonton Oilers have created some separation, which they need to keep guarding, diligently. Looking at the wild card standing, Utah Mammoth is a big surprise. I'm really happy for them. They have 84 points, which is a bit too low for me, if you ask me. 84 points. They are 3 just behind Edmonton Oilers, who has 87. So it also means that this division is very, very weak because amongst the top 3 teams, none of them have even hit 90 points. And we have, The Central Division already having their top three teams of 108, 102, and 96 points. So it means that this division is quite weak. And looking at the way it's going, Utah Mammoth has also improved. From middle of the season, they started looking like they are getting it clear. So they have expanded and they continue to improve. They are plus 27 on their differential and they have a balanced home and away split. I feel they will clinch 2 more wins and just clinch the wild card spot conveniently because they have 84 points. The difference between them and the team after them, which is the San Jose Sharks, they have 79 points. San Jose Sharks, as a team, I like the way they are going. They have a young talent in Celebrini who played so well in the Olympics. They are holding on. They've lost a couple of games in their last 3 or 4. Celebrini is just carrying the team. And, he's a young Canadian, young boy. He was, the number one pick, I think just last year, and he's just trying to carry the team, along. And it looks like he's the only one carrying, because he's the only energetic guy and he played for Team Canada very well in the Olympics. So they are minus 33 in their differential. That's a red flag. Even if they qualify during for this season as a wild card pick, they may not be able to survive the first round because they still don't have experienced talent on the team. Actually, Celebrini is the clear best player on that team. They have a couple of good guys on the team, but it will take a lot for them to be able to make a lot of noise in the postseason. They are minus 33. They concede a lot, but they've showed that they have what it takes to make some noise, even in the postseason. So I really wish they're able to clinch the wild card too. Looking at it clearly, the teams that are fighting with them, the Nashville Predators are also going to fight for the wild card. They are 79 points, the same number of points with San Jose Sharks. The Nashville Predators are also going up. They are doing well. Their last 10 has been quite strong and they have good return on wins, compared to San Jose Sharks. They can go ahead of them if the team doesn't get enough wins between now and the end of the season. The Los Angeles Kings are 79 points as well, and they're trending upward. I like their defensive profile. They're defending a bit better compared to all the bubble teams that are within their category. Winnipeg Jets are a complete disappointment. I don't think they are going anywhere. They need magic. They need to go on a spree of winning 7 games at a stretch before they can give themselves a chance. So I just put them as neutral right now because they need a streak. They need a streak of wins to be able to challenge for wildcard 2. Shadow Kraken are going nowhere. They're 75. They are trending downward. They're a brutal team, but if you look at their remaining schedule, it's very tough. And I feel for them, they should just prepare for next season. St. Louis Blues have dropped down. There was a time they were beating everybody. They beat the Florida Panthers. They were beating everybody, but right now they've calmed down. They're on 74. They have a negative differential, so they are too steep. I don't see them going forward. The Calgary Flames definitely are out. They don't have enough runway. The amount of teams they are going to play between now and the end of the season does not even help them. There's no guarantee that they're going to get enough points to be able to get them above the hump. But I don't see them going anywhere. They will most likely just go and relax and get away with preparing for next season. There's a team that will most likely claim the teams that will most likely claim the second wildcard spots are the LA, Nashville, San Jose Sharks, or Winnipeg. Winnipeg is the only Canadian team I feel has what it takes because they have a good goaltender who played for the US team in the Olympics and is doing so well. And they are beginning to get some wins back. So if you look at the overall, picture of the playoff, the snapshots, Carolina has already clinched. Colorado Avalanche has clinched. The Dallas team has clinched. Minnesota Wild has also clinched. If you look at my virtual locks that will clinch the next one, Tampa Bay is already comfortable. They're in a good spot already. Buffalo, comfortable. Montreal, very comfortable. Pittsburgh, comfortable. Anaheim Ducks, Edmonton, and Utah are very, very comfortable. They will most likely go ahead with the number of games that are left. And I think they are in strong positions. The next set of teams are teams that I need to watch them for the next 4 to 5 games, which is the New York Islanders and the Vegas team. For me, the wildcard favorites are just clear. For the East, I choose the Boston and Ottawa. Those two should be able to go ahead. The wildcard favorites for the West, Utah, LA/Nashville. Nashville Predators are playing well, so that's why I can't take them off my list. But the Los Angeles Kings, definitely, they will still be able to find some space to be able to make some noise. The teams that are completely in trouble, but they may not be able to fight this season, are the Columbus. They've lost their last 5. San Jose is not defending well. Their defense has collapsed. And the Seattle team have a tough schedule. Those teams are already in trouble because those 3, I pointed them out in my analysis. They cannot, the pathway ahead of them is too big. They cannot go ahead. Thank you very much. I've been able to do what I call a playoff qualification landscape for the NHL hockey team. For the hockey lovers, why don't you just, tune in, give us your comments, give us what you think. If you don't understand, ask questions in the comment section, and we'll let you know what's happening in the world of hockey. Today's a good day. Thank you. Stay brave and make a difference, and God bless.